All right, all right. What's up, good people? It's your boys, the Beards of War, back again from a little summer break. Got myself, Thick Nick Fury. You got Fat Broken Rambo for president. Behind the scenes, we got Hey Hey Captain Jack and Scorched Earth. So, all right. So for today, we got a little bit of a throwback. This movie's about 5 or 6 years old from Netflix, called Triple Frontier. So that's the movie that we're going to review. That one starring Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, and Pedro Pascal. Pretty decent movie. For that era, like the COVID era, right? So we had that whole thing. But before we get into it, we got a little bit of a preview. What you got for us, Rambo?
Yeah, man. So this week's trailer kind of came out a couple weeks ago, but we were on hiatus. Nobody too, man. Bob Odenkirk stepping back in the saddle again as everyone's favorable, forgettable, lovable action hero. He's going up against some folks that looks like a Wally World knockoff for any guys that get the National Lampoon's Vacation. Heavy comparison in the trailer to include the actual theme song. I think it looks like great fun, man. I think they're taking a gutsy risk with the direction of this film. Sharon Stone plays the villain. The whole theme park setup kind of weirds me out because I'm having flashbacks of Beverly Hills Cop 3, but we don't have to talk about that shit. I think it's gonna be a good flick, man. I'm excited. They're taking a chance. Let's do it.
Yeah, I agree. I hope it's good. It's always that success of the first film kind of almost derails the second one. It's like, oh man, we did such a great job. Let's get away from everything that made the first one good and just make a big budget CGI mashup of nonsense. I just hope that's not the case with this movie because I loved Nobody. I think that was that our first.
That was our first,
That
man.
was our
So yeah,
first. Yeah, that was our first review. So please do us justice and make a decent one for number two. But
yeah,
I'm
man.
excited to see
Can't
it.
wait.
I'm definitely going to check it out because that's our jam.
Yep,
That's our
absolutely.
jam. All right, so we want to get into this Triple Frontier.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Hmm.
All right, yeah, there you go. Special op guys. I know you once you get out, you kind of lose your way a little bit. You might be selling condos, right? Like Ben Affleck's character Red Fly. He's out there like selling condos. Can't really get the family dynamic together. Everybody's always short on funds, right? Like Pedro Pascal's character, he ends up like I think having an investigation. Like he's the pilot, right? He's like howling Matt Murdock, right?
Yeah,
So
he
he's
is.
the pilot. He's got like a cocaine investigation or something like that. You got Oscar Isaac's character Santiago, who's still kind of like in the sauce, like he's still in that type of
Contractor mode.
lifestyle, right? The
Yeah.
contractor lifestyle. You got Charlie Hunnam and his brother, Garrett Hedlund, who's Ben Miller. If you remember him from the Four Brothers, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
And from Tron, I believe, right? He's in,
Yes.
in the new Tron,
Tron
yeah.
2.
So
Yeah.
right, so everyone kind of had that backstory. So this is like your basic, let's get the old group together, right? And see if we still got it. But they're going over there to do something a little bit different. So you want to tell them what's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of glazed over it because you missed, I think, one of the better characters in the movie was Charlie Hunnam. He's got the dream job, man. I don't know what he's going off to South America to fucking fuck with drug cartels is all about. Like, if I was working as a GS7 at SFL TAPS, at Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program, man, that's like a dream come true. Like, I want that job. Anybody out there got
Right.
connections? I want that. Fort Meade, give me a call.
38K
Oh
before
yeah, it's
taxes.
great.
Yeah.
This awesome benefits. But dude, like you get to help soldiers transition. That's a pretty fucking awesome gig if you ask me.
Yeah, it is.
But that shit don't pay the bills. So like, hey man, work's got to be done. So basically, what ends up happening is Oscar Isaac is definitely playing the contractor role. He is rolled off the ODA, Operational Detachment Alpha, and he is now executing contractor ops for the highest bidder. So like he's kind of an advisory role to a South American government's like law enforcement, and they're kind of getting their asses handed to them. And he kind of comes up with the idea like, hey man, like the cops can't do anything about these guys. What if I got the old team back together and we went down and did like a Three Kings kind of thing, stealing from the bad guys? So who are they gonna call, right? Yeah, so that's cool. The whole team kind of comes together. Ben Affleck is I couldn't put together if he was the team sergeant or if he was like the team leader, but I think he's a team sergeant. Um, everyone takes their cues from him. So basically, once he's invested, he knows that he's not making ends meet. His daughters need to go to college. Stuff at home is getting expensive, right? So he's looking to extend that per diem, that TDY money, just in all the wrong ways. Yeah, so
Right.
they got on South America.
Yeah, and why not, right?
Yeah,
So and it's like there's no in between, right? You're either broke or you're gonna be rich, right? Like there's no like I don't think any of these special op guys really just fell into a really good cushy job. No one got a desk job. Everyone's still in pretty decent shape though. Because I can tell you right now, like if you tell me I'm going to South America, I'm like, we're gonna need a resort, like fully all inclusive. Like I can't go down there and just be walking through the jungle trying to kill people. I'm not about that. But that was the goal, right? The goal was initially he was telling Red Fly, hey, we're gonna go down there, we're gonna work through the government to take down this crime lord, which is Larea, and we all get a cut of the money. Then once I think Red Flag comes up with the plan, it's like, oh well, by the way, if we cut out the middleman, the aka the government, now we get to share all this money amongst ourselves. So that kind of sweetens the pot, and everyone's kind of like, well, we're already in it this deep, and that does sound appealing to us to maybe get that. It sounds pretty simple, right? When they break it down, like, hey, if we do this on a Sunday, security team's out, Ray will be there by himself. What could go wrong? And then, they start going through the house, which I'm like, well, just seems like really, really easy, right? Oh, there's fresh paint. Let's just hack into a wall. Oh, wow. It's the whole house is made out of cash. So they start breaking down a wall and they see this money. I'm like, okay, dude, like how much of this money can you realistically move? Because I think it was only so 75 million. It was some ridiculous amount of money. I can't even remember the exact amount, but it was more than you could spend as a reasonable person, right? It's like, okay, well, this will get me through a few years. No, yeah, I think you'd have been set for life with that amount of money. But it's like at that point, that part of the brain that kicks in, it doesn't make any sense. Like, hey man, we need to get all of this money. Like, well, how are we getting it out? Like, what? Like, we got to fill the trucks up. We're running out of time. And it's like Ben Affleck character Red Fly was the one that was most like against the
Grounded.
most timid, right? And now he was like, oh, I'm all in now because I see it. I see that, that gold bar in front of me, and he's like mesmerized, and they have to get everything in.
Yeah, that switch definitely flipped instantaneously, and
Right.
all sound decision making went right out the fucking window.
Oh yeah, and then we're only gonna kill Rhea to everybody. They killed like everybody.
Yeah,
Like, okay, that plan is out the window. Because at first they were like, okay, we'll choke this guy out, put him to sleep. Oh, we have to shoot this guy because he saw us. So he shoots a guy in the kneecap. He kneecaps him, and then after that, it's like, okay, all bets are off. We got to kill everybody. And they basically did, except for the family, which as they're driving by, as they're leaving, like Oscar Isaac basically makes it a point to look the kid directly in the face, like, yeah, we just killed your dad. Wait till you get and see what's at home waiting for you, right? So at that point, it's kind of like, okay, they kind of got away with it, right? Like, wow, they actually pulled it off. Now the problem is to get that amount of money out of the country.
yep.
That's where the
So,
logistics come in.
and if I remember correctly, Pedro Pascal kind of like preps the objective at that, or the extraction side at that point, and it's like a cargo lift with the cargo thing. I haven't watched this in a few years, and based on my review, you'll understand why I didn't want to repeat it. It's kind of like rinsing your mouth with razor blades. Um, yeah, man. So they get this cargo net, and the money's weighing them down, and it's just a sheer hubris of the situation because it's all founded in Ben Affleck, and it's frustrating as fuck because these guys are solid at what they do, man. And even after a retirement phase, they're still really proficient at what they do. If you had just stuck to your objective and not pressed it, man, it would have been a different story. And that's
Right.
where like this film loses me because I'm just like, God, I understand you trying to show greed and all that other stuff, and it works, but like it's frustratingly bad how it's just injected into the film for me.
Right. And I think what it tries to portray is how your circumstances change your mindset, right? Because when you're doing it back when you're 20, early 30s, you have that one objective. And it's never for, oh, I'll be able to take care of my family by doing this. This was, okay, this is the objective, get in, kill, get out. Now it's like, well, got to set up for college. Now the humanity part of it comes in where you're thinking more long term, like, okay, well, this is the only way I'll be able to give my family this or give my family that. And like, I have one shot. It's like, I have one shot at this. So I think that's kind of like where it wasn't necessarily greed, but more of, I can't continue life the way it is. Like after you get out of that, spec ops and you see what your life is now, there's no, I can't continue this way. I'd rather go back. And they wanted to go back to being what they were, but that life is gone. So now it's like, okay, how can I basically set up where my family is taken care of? And that's really what it was at the end of the day. It's not really about the individual anymore. He wants to make sure his daughters and his kids are taken care of. So that led to a whole bunch of bad choices by everybody involved. And you know what the right thing to do is, but it's like, no, I think we can still we can still pull it off if we just do this, if we adjust and do that. So they tried it with the helicopter
Yeah.
flying over the Andes, and it didn't work. And then now they got to drop, all that money, right? And they're dropping money as they go along. They're dropping more and more money, and then they end up at a cocaine farm, and that's
Yeah, they have to
that's
like
when it
cut
goes
sling.
south.
I think they have to cut the cargo for like an almost impromptu crash landing, and then decide that they're gonna like try to hump it out. But then the locals, very tribal-esque leadership, kind of show up, and the senior elder is kind of talking to them, and you can kind of see their gear spin and be like, "Hey, we can just pay this guy off. What if he rats us out?" Blah blah blah. And it goes south, man. Ben Affleck draws down and fucking smokes the guy, and then that kind of like sets the stage for the rest of the movie. And
Right.
I would tell you that like that decision alone kind of cripples the movie for me. But the frustrating part is like the trailer leads you to believe that there's going to be like some action set pieces in this film, and you really never get to fruition. The best fight scene or best shootout scene is actually when they're robbing the drug lord in the very beginning of the movie. After that, it's a slow character burn. And at the end, like Ben Affleck gets his, just desserts when the son of the village elder draws down and shoots him in the head, and then they lose all the money except for one bag, if I remember right. But
Yeah.
the bags, they're E&E out of the area, right? Because they know they've got to get to their final extractions, a boat on the other side of this fucking mountain range. Um, and they've got to clear, the cops are on them, the federales, and then the cartel, so they've got no choice. So they get the digits, they got the one bag, and they haul ass, and they get to the boat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I mean, but leading up to that, like they're still resistant to letting go of this money because they're like humping bags like on
Yeah.
donkeys first. And then once they lost the donkey, like one of the donkeys fell off a cliff, and then the other one's like, okay, we can't get them up this mountain. We're gonna have to let the donkeys go. And they paid a good amount of money for those donkeys, right? Because remember, they left the
I
village
forgot
elder
about
with a
that. Yeah.
nice chunk of money. So they're literally losing money as they go, but they're still trying to hold on to what they can. And I'm talking about between four guys, they're moving duffel bags of money through like South America. Like this was
Brutal
basically a
ass terrain,
robbery in
man.
South America. That's all it was. It wasn't like a military, like you were saying, Operation Gunfight movie. It was just a robbery in South America. And they get to the point where, okay, dude, like we already got one guy that's hit. We lost the guy. Now we have to hump his body, which is Red Fly. So the Ben Affleck's character after he gets shot. Now they have to hump him to extract. And you're doing that plus the money. So they finally decide, okay, listen, we have to dump the money. And they
Yep.
end up dumping the money down this chasm or whatever. And they go on to extract. And now you have, like I said, these kind of makeshift cartels after them, like these young kids who don't really know what they're doing other than, hey, shoot these guys when you see them. So they kind of take those guys out. So they don't really take any more casualties, which is kind of like, okay, I was expecting maybe a little bit more of that. You start losing guys as you extract, and what was the real cost of this venture. But as it turns out, they get out. They have one bag of money, I think, with about a little over $5 million left.
Yeah.
And you kind of see at the end where they're all kind of sitting down with the lawyer, like, okay, well, you all get like a little over 1 million a piece, and then uh, Williams' character is the first one to say, you know what, I want my portion to go to Red Fly's family trust, and they all, of course, follow suit. And it's like, okay, so what did we really accomplish was we actually got Red Fly's family the money, which is basically why he went over there. Obviously, not the outcome he would have wanted, but that's essentially what it was. And they knew that was the real reason why we all got behind it because Red Fly was in it. He was in for that purpose. Because yeah, life may not be what we want, but we were okay with how it was. Red Fly wasn't. Like Ben Affleck's character really knew that he couldn't continue the way that was going. So who knows where that would have led for him. But at the end, you see William's character, they're all saying their goodbyes, and he hands Santiago Oscar character a little note. What's got grid coordinates on it. So we all know what those grid coordinates were. And as he walks off, you kind of feel, okay, well, this is going to be a Triple Frontier 2. Here we are 5 years later, and there is no Triple Frontier 2. So I'm
I don't think
guessing,
it's happening.
yeah, I don't think so. I mean, a good cast. I do like the cast. I just think it would have been better served. It was a little bit deeper of a movie.
100% agree, man. And like even that ending, like if you had gone all the way to the ending where they just gave the widow the money, I would have I would have redeemed myself a little bit because like, hey man, there was a cost to the greed, right? Like now you absorbed that lesson, you lost your buddy. That's a heavy lift. That's a heavy burden to carry for the rest of your life, kind of thing. And then
Right.
you're just like, nah, fuck it, man. We got the grid. Let's go. Like,
Right.
oh,
And what did you
dude,
learn? Nothing.
you learn nothing, right?
Yeah. Right.
And that was a frustrating thing. I'll give it, man. I thought the cast was phenomenal. Like, you probably couldn't afford that cast this day and age, man. Pedro Pascal's and everything. Um,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
yeah, it was a great cast. Interesting premise. I would like to seen it like hell, man. Remake it. I'd like to see it again. Just written differently and better. And
Right. Yeah. I mean, consider you have Moon Knight, Batman, Mr. Fantastic.
yeah,
I mean, they're all in this movie. So trying to get all those guys in one movie now costs you an arm and a leg. You know, I mean, if we're being realistic, you also had King Arthur. I mean, like what else are you gonna do with that? So, but for that time, like I said, during the COVID, period, it was a watchable movie, but like I said, a little disappointing at the end of the day. But if like I said, if you're into heist movies, um, kind of survival, I can't really say survivalist because it's
yeah,
not really survivalist. They're just like trying to hump money out of South
yeah.
American
It's a
entities,
crime drama.
pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a C plus.
a
I
C
don't want to give it an
plus,
F. Yeah, I'll give it like a C plus,
D minus.
B minus. Okay, it's still
No, D
passing.
D
Oh,
Delta.
D minus. Oh, you're
Yeah,
barely passing.
yeah.
Your parents are not happy with you if you're trying to get into Harvard. Okay,
D's
but
get
community
degrees.
college it is. All right.
Yeah,
Triple
man. Hey.
Frontiers Community College.
All right, let's talk about a good ODA team. So, man, I'm gonna my pick of the week to not compliment Triple Frontier, but the same theme. The A team, man, 2010, Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, Sharlto Copley, and Rampage Jackson. Phenomenal film, man. If you were a kid of the 80s, you grew up watching this TV show with Mr. T and George Papard, Dwight Schultz. Damn, I can't remember Face's actor's name. My
B8
bad.
Benedict, something Benedict.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Benedict. You're on the right track. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. TBI. But yeah, man, the A team. It was every kid's dream for this movie to come out, right? And does it miss the mark a little bit? Sure it does. But I mean, you're asking the same audience that watched it as a television show to be like, yeah, man, that's cool. So once you adopt the mentality that they were going for the exact same vibe as the TV show, it's phenomenal. I absolutely love every ounce of this movie. And if I can make one recommendation, there is an extended cut that's unrated. Highly recommend you watch that because you get a little bit more backstory kind of fleshed out, and I kind of dug it. So yeah, you have to rent
Yeah.
it. It's not available to stream for free anywhere, but absolutely worth a couple bucks. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, man. Like I said, seeing that show that we grew up on as kids kind of come to the big screen, and I think the characters were portrayed well, I think they did a good job with the cast, even down to Rampage Jackson as
Oh
BA.
yeah, man.
Like
He
that
was
was
great.
perfect, man. And I love the scene where he's like he has pity fool on the knuckles.
Right.
Dude, that was like awesome. I
Spartan
mean,
kicks
down
that
to
dude
the
across the
van.
room.
Right, right, down to the van, dude. Like they nailed it. Great movie. Liam Neeson, I mean, what can't the guy do, right? Like you can, you play Jordan Park character Hannibal, like all right, you're a man among men. So
Yeah.
I did enjoy that, man.
I
That
will
was a good
say,
one.
dude, there's a wealth of shit talking in this film. If you got any Ranger buddies and you want to talk shit about, because some of the cringiest lines in this are about Ranger Regiment, man, and it's just absolutely hilarious to me. Wasn't a Ranger, not claiming to be one, but man, no one shit talks a battalion apparently, according to B.A. Baracus, and I love it. So fucking hey, man,
Yes, sir. Yep.
what you
All
got
right,
for us this
man.
week?
So, all right. So my pick of the week, it's kind of along the same lines. We're going back to pick up something we left behind, right? So this would be like what Triple Frontier 2 would be if it's an all black cast in the Vietnam era. And that's The Five Bloods, all right? So that's a Spike Lee movie starring the late great Chadwick Boseman. You got Delroy Lindo. And it's basically like four veterans from the Vietnam era trying to go back and recover some treasures that were lost during that time in Vietnam, where Chadwick Boseman was like their platoon sergeant. Like he was like the leader. And these guys going back kind of reminds me of what it would probably be like if I went back, like a little bit out of shape. You need your CPAP machine. You got some few meds you got to take with you. Your wife's making sure you packed everything. Like it's not like how it was in this last movie, Triple Frontier. You guys are still in shape. Like no, dude. Like I'm not walking any more than a half a mile. I don't do clicks anymore, man. I do yards. All right, we're not doing clicks. I'm not humping nothing. I'm not carrying nothing. Like, let's just get in there, do
But
what
you
we
go
gotta do,
camping.
get out, right? So, Delroy Lindo, man, this dude is just—he's one of those actors. He's almost like a Sam L. Jackson, right? Like you just want to see his character in every movie that he plays, and he's always a real dude, right? You got Jonathan Majors in this movie. A younger, like I said, these guys are younger. This is them kind of just getting started, and I really think Chadwick Boseman's career would have skyrocketed had more opportunities, man. And this is just giving these guys a different viewpoint of what went on with these guys and what goes on with veterans and the things that they dealt with. Kind of lot along the lines of Dead Presidents was another great movie.
Oh,
There's that experience of being in the shit and then the experience of being home and still being in the shit, so to speak. So uh this was a great movie. Like I said, it's one of those movies that you get to watch and you get to see another side of the war and the war that continues on with veterans a lot of times and things that they have to deal with and what lengths they're willing to go through to get to what they feel they deserve, what they earned, right? Because you almost don't feel like your country has done enough for you. You've offered everything for that country, but you don't feel like they've offered everything back. So that's kind of like in the obviously Memorial Day just happening, and I'm hoping everyone enjoys that weekend. But let's not forget why. These are men and women that cash that check. We all signed it, but they cashed it. It's one of those things that we, as soldiers, continue to pay those respects to those that have paid that cost and that we were willing to pay. But it's always one of those things that you just don't want people to forget, and not just for that soldier, but for that soldier's family. They live on with that. They live on with the loss of that individual. That was someone's father, that was someone's son, someone's mother, someone's daughter. So with that being said, the Five Bloods, I think, was a good movie based on that time, that period. Again, one of the COVID era movies, but a good watch. So it's playing on Netflix right now. Came out in 2020, and like I said, I think it does a good service of kind of seeing what the outcomes of war can be on an individual.
damn, I can't follow that up.
I mean, that's why you went first. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, man. So that's what we got, guys. We thank you guys for joining us, man. Like it's been a nice little summer off. We had some things that we had to take care of because like I said, life stops for no one. But the beards are back. We got some stuff coming up soon. What do we got coming up? What are we gonna go check out?
Ballerina when
Ballerina.
that comes out, yeah, we're gonna kick it off summer session with that one. So pretty excited,
Yes.
man.
I am. I am. And John Wick and it
And a
continues. Story continues, man.
flamethrower.
So
It's gonna be
it's gonna
fantastic.
be good. It's gonna be
Yep.
good. It better be good. It better be good. I need something before this whole Superman thing comes out because I'm just
Mm. Yeah.
so nervous,
Yeah.
man. I'm so
Ooh.
nervous because
I would be
Superman is
nervous
my
too.
jam.
I
Superman
would
is
be
my
nervous too.
jam. But yeah,
Think it's like Borderlands bad?
it can't be. No, it can't be. It cannot be Borderlands bad. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. It cannot be as bad as Borderlands. Cannot be. I refuse to believe it's gonna be as bad as Borderlands.
I
I
guess
would
not.
say Superman 4 was better than Borderlands today. If it came out today with the same actor, Christopher Reeve, and whoever the blonde dude was that played Nuclear Man, would
Yeah,
make more money than Borderlands.
I'm all in on that. Yeah.
And all he had was nails. The dude just
Quest,
had radioactive scratches. That was it.
Quest for Peace.
Ah, Chris Freeman miss you, man. All right. All right, guys. So until next time, man, guys, thanks for coming out. Make sure you subscribe, a notification bell, all that good stuff, man. Come back. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what a good movie is that you guys feel might be a good heist movie, a wartime movie, and we'll definitely put it on our list, man. We're definitely interacting with you guys, and we appreciate you guys coming out. So with no further ado, it's your boy, Sick Nick Fury, out here.
That Broken Rambo out here, man. Go check out the Five Bloods and the A Team, man. Go check them out. They're fantastic. And remember why Memorial Day is a holiday. So miss you, Rob, and miss Jake, and miss you, Aaron. Be good, guys.